Hey, yo. Hey, man. Say, man. This your motherfucking boy. Cosmic light being. Dark matter chaos being. Master teacher, master student, DeMarco. We finna jam out right quick before we get started. We finna turn up before we get started. We finna set the vibe right. We finna set the vibe right. Start this shit out. Man, if you appreciating the content, smash that motherfucking like button. If you appreciating the content, smash that motherfucking like button. Share the motherfucking video 9 times. I'm just finna set the vibe right. Y'all see the goddamn title how we going in today. Y'all see by the motherfucking title in the picture of the presentation how we getting lit today. We gonna set the motherfucking vibe right first. Peace, love, light, and motherfucking darkness. Let's set the tempo. Let's set the motherfucking tempo. Right. I told you I'm turning up. That way before we turn the fuck up. I ain't done. I ain't done. We setting the motherfucking mood. in the middle of redemption, but not even that all their sake. Hold up, hold up, I say, I say, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. And like flowers. Y'all waiting on me. Get up out of there. Hold on, man. I got a couple moments. I want to play myself as well. You know what I'm saying? I want to play myself as well. Is that okay with everybody? I appreciate everybody for tuning the fuck in. You feel me? I appreciate everybody for dropping by, stopping through. Let me just finish. Let me finish the vibes out. Hold on. Let's finish the vibes out. Swear. Okay. Hours. I'm gonna get into the spell and ritual, y'all. Man, look what the hell. Hold up, hold up. Look what the hell. Look what the hell. I gotta play this one more time. telling you. I'm just trying to set the vibe, y'all. I'm just trying to set the vibe. I'm just trying to set the vibe. Just being honest. I'm just trying to set the vibe right. No count. Hello. I keep an eye out for the numbers. I stay in contact, synchronization. You ain't never met an entity with that much divinity. So stop the debate. Let me go ahead and get into this. Just so you remember this. 9 to the 9 power 9 is the high number in the universe. So I'm telling you, carbonated being they hate you because you infinite. You change different. We get metaphysical, so there's gonna be some how you learn. And we learn that we can change our shape of avatar and then shit. We become more eternal. I'm talking immortal, you did. Watch how the ancestors come in UFOs and swarm. Transcendent became death. Express what we born, but when you hear the information, don't be alarmed. They say to be calm when you do a little research on melanin. Getting deep into it, they gon' try to give you felonies. People been using our body for their recipe. So they got niggas in the melatonin, what you telling me? Then you call yourself a god, man, that's blasphemy. If you don't know the Spartan family, then don't debate with me. If the black woman ain't God, then the lunacy. 9Ether being waking up, that's a threat to democracy. Hold up. Houston, we got a problem. Isaiah 45, I would give you the treasures of dark. Is it really esoteric, meaning your melanin carbon? Why you talking this metaphysical shit? I heard your reputation is torn. I beg your pardon, don't fuck around with them allegations. I've been living my best life, pussy nigga under no stipulations. Hit the goddamn vibrate too high, running up currency and they start to hate me. It ain't my fault, the universe keep giving me my manifestation. Break it down, Gnostic scriptures, they calling me Satan. I had to stop that real quick. I know motherfucker like, man, you need to get on with it. You've been 12 minutes getting the vibe in. You've been getting the vibe in for 12 motherfucking minutes. You need to go on and get on with the motherfucking show. You need to go on and get on with the motherfucking show. And get into the meet your straw man. The whole doctrine of discovery. Redemption for 9Ether people and their lost estate. Because we don't see what's going on. We just see the outer surfaces with what the government or your hierarchy is portraying. They're not even hiding shit for real, because everything that they put on the media, mainstream news, all the movies, the TV commercials, the TV shows, with all the sports, they actually telling you what has been going on, what is going on, and what has, I ain't gonna say what is to come, I'm gonna say what has came. They always give you, deter you, or they give you bullshit mixed in with the truth. That's why they know specifically with us, it's important to keep us at a low operating frequency. So we don't tap into us, basically. So we don't tap into us. And so what has actually taken place is these hybrid beings, right? These hybrid beings, these hybrid Europeans. They done damn near tried to declare victory by military and deception. So that's why they show you, they tell you about the art of war, because they get a little, they use a little of that information in regards to what's going on with the art of war. You feel me? And they use the art of war, and you know they got that because of code of war. All forms of deception is viable, and that's where they get that from, through the art of war. You feel me? Because they are trying to avoid physical conflict. They're trying to avoid physical conflict, so they use technology and deception as a means, instead of actually going to physical conflict, because they know it'll be the end of all of that shit. You feel me? The deception is the judicial system. And if you break that down, that goes into the tribe of Judah, so-called tribe of Judah, is the ones over the judicial system. And basically, each one of these motherfucking 12 tribes of these so-called children of Israel has a family bank. So each one of these families set up a bank, and the first bank was set up in Washington, D.C. When they came over her, you know, the shipwreck, the 10 square mile crash site set up the first bank. They mapped out the territory, laid down a family claim to each one of the portions, so that they can claim that they are us, meaning us as the organic motherfuckers to the land. You feel me? So in actuality, they feel like we can't be competent and we're not able to manage our own affairs. And this is a part of how they are claiming our shit. But like the title say, we here, can't nobody get redemption for the 9Ether people in their lost estate but us. And a lot of this shit here is being pushed to the critical masses. Because that's all we waiting on. They done already gave the fuck up. I'm finna show you another way how they done gave the fuck up. And they putting it out there in our face. See, when you look at who's pulling the strings of the politician in America, it'll be what motherfuckers would call the Jewish Anti-Defamation League and JDL. They control the politician because that's their stage show of the political arena. You feel me? That's the story they want the public to follow so they can remain anonymous. And we gonna get into the whole remaining, the people that's trying to remain anonymous, because we think that the pale-faced Europeans, the hybrids, we thinking that they are in control. But back to the goddamn stage show and the politicians, then we would get your so-called presidents. and we're going to come back to the politicians. And your presidents are what you would call praetors of Rome. Preators, praetors of Rome. These are your, in our language terms over here in America, these are your presidents. You feel me? These are your presidents for the United States corporation, operating on the land under the doctrine of discovery at North America, proper destination, are predators. So your predators are Rome are your presidents over here in America, and your presidents are no more or nothing less the spokesman. They don't call no shots. The president is basically the spokesman for the United States corporation. They are actually Roman predators. So they keep these people in the corporation to maintain the distortion narrative for the people of the land. And that goes back to the politicians that's a part of the, they are selected politicians, so-called politicians, actors, and they are actually your 14th Amendment, especially your black ones. They are your 14th Amendment because it's all about us. You feel me? They are your 14th Amendment, your politicians, they are your 14th Amendment promoters or your civil rights activists or your civil rights corporate appointed leaders who are famous for basically taking our people, basically, right? Having them goddamn protesting and marching and arguing about prejudicial bullshit and racial bullshit in order to keep our people unaware of the doctrine of discovery. See, they love trying to disconnect and disassociate us from the land. And when I say us, I mean us organic people. So they can keep revising the dead corporate political jurisdiction. So they can keep making a claim to the resources and the land. But like I said, they done gave it up. They said this shit is over with. They said the shit is over with. They said the shit is over with. Now, in the midst of what had happened is you get people from all over the areas, right? Like what people would know as Hebrews. Hebrews ain't even what you really think Hebrew and Hebraism is. Hebrew ain't even it's a fuck, the word fucked up anyway. The real Hebrew is really Ebey, and they ain't nothing but different tribes like the Mantu, Phoenician, and Medinka tribe that crossed the river. You feel me? Basically Asiatic. So, and what had happened was when they established the corporation, they gave us names. You feel me? Tags of basically corporate ownership, and some of those names will be colored, black, Negro, and so forth. That's how they keep us locked into the corporate contract that's already been eradicated. So those names are given to so-called Moabite peoples, Cushite people by the hybrid Europeans to basically give a foundation to their mental projection of basically separating us, trying in a way of separating us from the land mentally. So if we go into the Bureau of Indian Affairs, where they basically tried to give a motherfucking promise to the organic people that somewhat divine sovereign rights, and some of the goddamn divine sovereign rights to the land, and some of the resources would be given back to us. We will be compensated basically with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, right? So they say if you niggas that's organic to the land, if y'all, we will give y'all some of y'all divine sovereign rights to the land and resources and shit. If you see the if, right? If you niggas agree to call y'all selves and tell your kids to tell their kids that y'all are Indians. So you probably already know how that situation ended. That's why we got so many motherfucking tags. So the concepts that we was gave, or your concepts, are being guided by the motherfuckers that's controlling the narrative. Yeah. So what happened is you get these people that's in power, or so-called people that's in power, right? What they did was put all their technology into the social, political, and the educational system to train the masses. So if you get trained through social, political, and educational systems, but you actually think you're receiving truth, when in actuality you think you're being educated, you being misled and indoctrinated and trained to believe the things that you was taught. It's a big ass spell. A big ass spells. We done went from one tribal system. We went from our tribal system. Then it became political generalization or compartmentalization of territories. Then you have your different territorial tribes. Then they put us all the motherfucking together and call us different names like motherfucking Seminole Indians or Seminoles. When those people are basically the Bantu tribe. Then you get your French word, your French Choctaw, which basically means chocolate people. Is you understand that overstanding, and outer standing. Let's continue. Hold on, let's continue. Let's continue. Hold on. Let's get on. Let's jump down. Hold on. Where we want to go? Hold on. You know what? We're going to go straight right. Hold on. We're going to go straight right up. We're going to go straight right here and get into this motherfucking Doctrine of Discovery, aka Doctrine of Christian Discovery. International legal concept and Christian principle that is born out of a number of Catholic laws called papal bulls, originating out of the Vatican. It gave the monarchies of Britain and Europe and etc. the right to conquer and claim lands and to convert or kill the native inhabitants of those lands. In 2019, it will be 250 years since this process was carried out in Aotearoa, New Zealand. You get a sense of what we getting at. You get a sense of what we getting at. And the papal bull, Inter Centera, issued by Pope Alexander V, 1493, played a central role in the Spanish conquest of the New World. So basically, the document supported Spain's strategy to ensure its exclusive rights to the land discovered by so-called Christopher Columbus the previous year. It established a demarcation line 100 leagues west of the Azores and Cape Verde Islands, assigned Spain the exclusive right to acquire territorial possessions and to trade in all lands west of that line. All others were forbidden to approach the lands west of the line without special license from the rulers of Spain. This effectively gave Spain a monopoly on the lands of the New World. The bull stated that any land not inhabited by Christians were available to be discovered, claimed and exploited by Christian rulers, and declared that the Catholic faith and Christian religion be exalted and be everywhere increased and spread, that the health of souls be cared for, and the barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to faith itself. This doctrine of discovery became the basis of all European claims in the Americas, as well as the foundation for the United States Western expansion. In the U.S. Supreme Court in 1823 case Johnson versus McIntosh, Chief Justice John Marshall's opinion in the unanimous decision held that the principle of the discovery gave European nations an absolute right to discovery, gave European nations an absolute right to New World lands. In essence, American Indians, so-called American Indians, had only a right of occupancy, which could be abolished. The bull Satira made headlines again throughout the 90s and 2000s when many Catholics petitioned John Paul II to formally revoke it and recognize the human rights of indigenous non-Christian peoples. And it gives governments can infringe organic rights conferred by organic titles. As a general proposition, governments have the power to regulate land use within the province. This applies to all lands withheld by the crown, by private owners, or by the holders of organic title. Did you know the SEC ruled that based upon the assertion of European sovereignty, the crown has radical or underlying title, thus keeping the racist doctrine of discovery alive everywhere? Is you understanding? Is you understanding? I told you, go check out the Johnson versus McIntosh. The 1823 is still treated by the U.S. Supreme Court as valid law for the United States. The Supreme Court has used the claim right of Christian discovery and domination or dominion in the Johnson ruling as its underlining rationale for every ruling that it has handed down since 1823 regarding original nations. Columbus and other colonizers laid claim to lands of original nations on the basis of the idea that Christians had a biblical right to discover and dominate non-Christian land or have dominion of non-Christian land. This doctrine of ancient Christendom, supported by papal bulls, and it continues to motherfucking serve as the conceptual foundation of the political and legal systems, and as the conceptual foundation of other dominion political systems elsewhere in the world in relation to original nations. They ain't telling you this is, but they in actuality they is. And we telling the veil back on the Dominion Code. Cause get what? The organic motherfuckers, we still here with something called Turtle Island. We still here on Mother Earth, thriving. We still motherfucking here thriving. We still here motherfucking thriving. I'm talking about nonetheless. None of the motherfuckers less we thriving. Hold on. Hold on, let me pull this up right here. Let me why you think these banks and shit collapsing? We think they collapsing them. We think they collapsing them. We thinking they collapsing. We thinking they collapsing the motherfucker. We thinking they collapsing the motherfucker. No, it's about that time. It's about that time. You know, it wasn't no frontier. There was never no motherfucking frontier in what we call the United States of America. And 100 of indigenous nations occupied the whole hemisphere for thousands and thousands of years. Cities were as large or larger than any European city. We was highly skilled in astronomy, geography, language, math. No savages. No savages. No savages. So with their doctrine of discovery, it gave, like I said, like I've been saying, it gave the Europeans and others a right, the hybrids, a right to place their banner in the ground and declare the land in the name of so-called God. A frontier never exists. We been here and been highly goddamn advanced in proper balance with Mother Earth. You feel me? And they invaded well-populated hemisphere and attempted to wipe out the culture and people. Hold on. Let's pull this up right here. Hold up. Let me pull this up right here. 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 Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Hold on. Bear with me. God, oh yeah. Oh yeah, with it. All right. The doctrine of discovery, also known hold on. In 16th century, gave the monarchies of Britain and Europe and everybody else the right to conquer lands and convert and kill the native inhabitants of those lands. The intent of the doctrine of discovery provided a framework for Christian explorers in the name of their king or queen to lay claim to territories uninhabited by Christians. If the lands were vacant, then they could be defined as discovered or sovereignty claim. Within the framework of the doctrines, indigenous peoples were considered non-human. God damn it, why the fuck are you doing that? There we go. I'm bad, I'm tripping, y'all. Were considered non-human. The doctrine asserts that non-Christians on these discovered lands were not human, therefore the land was empty or terra nullius. When Cook arrived in Ontario, if I'm a Nazi, sorry if I butchered it, Ontario, he was under orders to claim land for King George III, preferably by consent. However, he did so without consent. When he arrived in Australia, there would have been up to 750,000 people living there who had been living on those lands for over 65,000 years. Now you tell me who really indigenous, who really organic to the land, to the planet. However, he declared the land terra nullius, which means he declared the indigenous people of Australia to be not human and the land empty, and then claimed the land for King George III. In Ontario, Lieutenant William Hobson, on order from the British Crown, hold up. On the British Crown declared Wainapu, the South Island terra nullius in 1840, then claimed it for the Crown. The UN's perspective on the impact of the Doctrine of Discovery, May 2012. The Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues concluded its 11th session with the approval of a set 9 draft recommendations highlighted by a text approved on the special theme, the ongoing impact of the Discovery Doctrine on Indigenous peoples and the right redress. That 15th century Christian principle was denounced throughout the session as shameful, root of all the discrimination and marginalization. Hello, about with what's that? Bear with me, y'all. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Yep. Oh shit, man! I'm in the bed. What we getting on? What's the name? Goddamn. Hey, what is it? Shit, it don't matter. For real, for real. In the red. For real, goddamn. Oh, we in